Brantford-Brant.
Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister is really trying hard to save face after his complete failure to protect our democracy, Canadians and members of this House from intimidation by the Beijing dictatorship. And last Friday, he doubled down and blames and attacks the credibility of the member for Wellington-Halton Hills. The Prime Minister claimed his office had not been briefed, that he knew nothing about this until recently. Will the Prime Minister stop spreading this categorically false narrative and finally expel this Beijing agent today?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the only falsehoods that are being spread today is the outrageous suggestion that the members of the government on this side of the chamber have no care or regard for the member for Wellington and Halton Hills. Nothing could be further from the truth, Mr. Speaker. That is why we're continuing to support him, and we'll support all members when it comes to doing their job so that it is free from foreign interference. And the Conservatives need to stop politicizing this issue. That simply plays into the hands of foreign interference. We need to be united in defending our democracy, and we can only do that work successfully if we do it together.
Honourable Member for Brantford-Brant.
Fact of the matter, Mr. Speaker, is Canadians do not believe this Prime Minister, and most assuredly this Minister. Canada's spy agency did in fact notify this government 2 years ago regarding Beijing's threat to a member of this House. Even the Prime Minister's own national security advisor confirmed that her office had received this information in 2021. Enough of the smoke and mirrors. Will this Prime Minister apologize for deliberately misleading this House, be a leader for once, stand up for the security of all Canadians, and finally expel that Beijing agent?
I just want to mention and make sure that everyone is clear is if you're misleading someone, you're doing it unintentionally. But if you're deliberately misleading, that is not acceptable language. I'm sure it was an error on the member for the...
That's unacceptable right there.
I'm sorry?
That's unacceptable.
I'm sorry? As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I just want to remind everyone there's certain language that is not allowed in the chamber, and deliberately misleading is not allowed. The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for reminding our colleagues in the Conservative Party about that principle, because in all candor, the only way that we are going to be able to do the work of defending our institutions is if we rid ourselves of the kind of partisanship and politicization which has been plaguing this subject now for weeks. It should be abundantly clear that if we want to protect our democratic institutions and the people that work in them, including every member in this chamber and their families, that we must do that together. This government has put in place new authorities and transparencies. Let's get behind the cause of defending it so we can have real debates that are rooted in our democratic principles.